Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another brand new video. I hope you guys are all doing well. So in this video, I want to talk about Bitcoin. I want to give you guys an update on what is going to happen with Bitcoin in the next few months, because something has to happen for Bitcoin really soon, right? Because Bitcoin is still not moving, right? We saw Bitcoin drop massively, okay, a couple of days ago, and ever since we had that drop, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin has been stuck pretty much at $22,000. So you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin for almost a week now has not been moving too much, right? Even today, you guys can clearly see Bitcoin is still at $22,000, $22,500. Okay, even though yes, it did in fact, we did in fact see Bitcoin pump back up to almost $23,000, but it did in fact drop back down. Okay, so yes, you guys can clearly see that Bitcoin has not been moving. So we have to see something really soon, right, for Bitcoin. We have to see something really soon for Bitcoin, and not just Bitcoin, but the entire cryptocurrency market, because everything's sort of not really moving, right? If Bitcoin is not moving, then majority of the time other altcoins won't move as well, right? So in this video, I want to talk about whether we will in fact see Bitcoin pump or will it dump. Okay, what's gonna come first? Okay, we will see. Okay, will we see Bitcoin have a dump down, right, or will it pump back up? Okay, so that's exactly what I want to talk about. So before we get into this video, guys, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not yet already. I really would appreciate that. And let's bring up this video. So the entire cryptocurrency market today, guys, is not really moving, like I said. Okay, but everything is okay. Some altcoins are in fact slightly, having a pump, nothing too crazy, right? You guys can see Avalanche is up, 2% for the past 24 hours. Okay, so some altcoins are, having a slight pump, but majority of them are not moving today. You guys can clearly see that, right, for the past 24 hours, right? So not much movements today, but I do in fact want to show you guys some charts on why, okay, we could actually see Bitcoin, okay, have a bull run. This could actually be the beginning of the next crypto bull run, right? The next Bitcoin bull run, right? So you guys can clearly see, okay, this chart right here, okay, and I've showed you guys, many charts just like this one for the past, few weeks now, okay, but I feel like it's really important because if you guys really, look at the Bitcoin chart, right? If I go to the 1 year chart right here, I go to the weekly time frame. You guys can clearly see that Bitcoin, right, is in fact forming a new pattern right now. Okay, it is. You guys can clearly see that, right? So we know Bitcoin has dropped massively last year in 2022, and you guys can clearly see right now Bitcoin is in fact breaking out right here. Okay, it is in fact forming a new pattern, right? Because Bitcoin has obviously dropped from this falling wedge that we have in fact been seeing for a very long time. Okay, and it looks like right now Bitcoin is in fact forming a new pattern, right? It's breaking out from this falling wedge. Okay, so we could potentially see Bitcoin, and I've said this many times, right, go up to at least 40 to at least maybe even $50,000 this year alone in 2023. You guys understand that this year, right, is not, we're not going to see Bitcoin, go back up to its previous all-time highs and reach a new all-time high this year in 2023, right? But I will say this: I do in fact see Bitcoin at least going back up to at least $40,000 to $50,000 this year alone in 2023. And I've told you guys as many times, the next halving event for Bitcoin, right? So the next Bitcoin halving is going to happen in the year 2024. And once that happens, we're going to see Bitcoin skyrocket. Same with other altcoins. Okay, I've been telling you guys that many times. So this chart just shows you guys where Bitcoin will potentially be heading in, of course, the next few years, right? 2024 to 2025 to maybe even potentially 2026. Okay, so looks like Bitcoin right now is in fact, okay, forming a new pattern. Like I said, we did in fact have this falling wedge last year in 2022, and then at the beginning of this year in 2023, we saw Bitcoin absolutely pumping, right? Who remembers? Okay, at the start of this year in 2023, Bitcoin absolutely pumped. It was a great month. Okay, January, we had a 40% return from Bitcoin, and that was massive, right? So you guys can see history does in fact repeat itself. I've told you guys that many times. I'm a big believer in that as well, right? History repeating itself, and you guys can see, okay, back in 2019, what happened with Bitcoin is exactly what's happening right now with Bitcoin. Okay, So if I go to the daily time frame right here, and I'll show you guys what I mean. So you guys can clearly see, right? Bitcoin is still holding up pretty well from this support level, okay? And it's exactly in the right path right now to have a breakout, right? Just like what happened in 2019 might actually potentially happen this year in 2023. So time will tell. We will see, okay? We will see, guys, right? So here's another chart that I really want to show you guys, that every time a bear market starts, and of course a bull market, okay, and these bull markets, right, pretty much always happens because of the Bitcoin halving event, pretty much, right, every single time. Once the Bitcoin halving event happens, Bitcoin, okay, skyrockets. It skyrockets, and it will eventually reach a new all-time high. Just like every bull market, Bitcoin always reaches and touches a new all-time high, okay, always, guys, right? So you guys can clearly see throughout the years, okay, we had a drop right here, boom, straight down, okay, a falling wedge, and then we had a massive spike back up, right? And then we had another falling wedge, boom, and then we spiked back up, right? Who remembers in 2021 what happened in 2021, okay? And then obviously in 2022, especially, the entire year in 2022, we saw Bitcoin drop massively, and this is where we are now. So we should be seeing Bitcoin like forming a new pattern, which it looks like it is because it already hit bottom, right? And we will in fact see Bitcoin, potentially reach $40,000 to $50,000, maybe even higher than that, right? Close to its all-time high this year alone in 2023. Call me crazy. We could potentially see that, right? Or we could see Bitcoin, fall back down to, $16,000, and that's where it was, a couple months ago, right down here. Okay, we could potentially see that for Bitcoin, and maybe even further down, right, to $14,000 to $12,000 potentially, maybe, but that's very unlikely to happen. So here's another chart that I really want to show you guys, because I've been telling you guys this many times, that we are still in the buying section, right? We are still in the accumulation station, right now. We are still in the accumulation stage right now. Okay, we are, right? And this chart just showed you guys that we are in fact still in the buying area. Okay, we're not in the selling area or the panic area. We're still in the buying area. Everyone right now should be, buying. Okay, accumulating. I've told you guys this many times. We all should be at least dollar cost averaging, and this is obviously not financial advice, so please do your own research. But every time, okay, we know that saying. Okay, we know that saying. Buy low, sell high. And that's exactly what this chart is, okay? So you guys can see the top line, and that's pretty much when you want to take your profits and you want to sell, okay? That's when you want to take your profits. And then when we're all the way down here to this line, that's pretty much when you want to buy, invest, and of course, accumulate, okay? And guess where we are right now, guys? We are obviously still in the accumulation stage, guys. We are still at its bottom. Even though, yes, Bitcoin has, in fact, been pumping, right? And you guys didn't buy any Bitcoin around this era right here, because this was, in fact, Bitcoin's bottom, right? If you guys didn't buy any at this era right here a couple months ago, right, back in November last year, and of course December, it's okay, right? It's still a great buy right now to buy into Bitcoin, especially if you're investing for long term. Buying Bitcoin at $22,000, in my opinion, that's dirt cheap, okay? Because I know for a fact in the next crypto bull market, once we see Bitcoin pump over $100,000, because that's easily going to happen for Bitcoin. We will in fact see Bitcoin, pump over $100,000 easily. Okay, 150 to even 200K in the next crypto bull market. That's possible here, right? It really is. You guys understand? Once Bitcoin does that, we will never see Bitcoin at $22,000 ever again. This is literally, in my opinion, your last chance right now to see Bitcoin, to buy Bitcoin at $20,000. So in my opinion, buying Bitcoin at 22K for long term, cheap. You guys understand? Bitcoin's eventually going to be reaching, millions, not just 1 million, but millions of dollars per Bitcoin. Of course, I'm talking long term. I'm not talking short term here, right? So in the next few decades. But I'm being dead serious, guys. So in my opinion, I think right now is still a great buying opportunity. Okay. And this chart just showed you guys that we are still in the buying area, and we are still in the accumulation stage right now, guys. Okay. I think right now is the perfect time to buy some Bitcoin. Okay. And that's why I have obviously been buying some Bitcoin. Even like at this level right here, I invested a lot of my money into Bitcoin. Okay. Believe me, I did. Okay. If you guys don't believe me, I already made a video talking about this, titled "I'm going all in on Bitcoin," and in that video, I invested almost $20,000 into Bitcoin at this time right here, around right here, guys, when I saw Bitcoin drop below $16,000. Okay, because it did at one stage, right? Bitcoin was actually below $16,000 around this time right here, and that's when I bought in, guys. Believe me, right? I did. Okay, and I'm glad I did, because that was in fact the bottom, right? I actually bought Bitcoin at its bottom during this time, during the cycle, right? So that's that, guys. Okay, this just shows you guys that we're still in the buying area. Now, I just want to show you guys this photo. Okay, I actually like this photo a lot. And it just shows you guys, okay, and I've been, it's just weird to me. I've been telling you guys this many times that people do actually, do this, right? So you guys can clearly see that a lot of people like to buy Bitcoin when Bitcoin was high, when it was in the greens, when it was pumping, when we were in fact in the bull market. But no one wants to buy Bitcoin now. When Bitcoin is cheap, right? No one wants to buy Bitcoin now. They see Bitcoin dropping, crashing, okay, and they don't want to buy, right? For all the people out there that said to themselves when Bitcoin was at, $50,000 to $60,000 at its pretty much all-time high, right? A lot of people were saying, oh, I wish I would have bought Bitcoin when Bitcoin was at, $10,000 or $15,000 or even $20,000, maybe even $30,000, right? People were in fact saying that to themselves, okay? People were literally saying that. And now since Bitcoin has dropped a lot, people don't want to buy. You guys have to understand, Bitcoin, okay, it's the same coin. It's the same technology. Nothing has changed. The only difference is it's dropped a lot and it's on sale. And you're telling me you don't want to buy it. For some reason, guys, a lot of people out there, their brains, they like to operate, our human brains, okay? They like to FOMO in, okay? They like to buy when assets are pumping, when markets are pumping. That's when they want to buy. But it's the complete opposite, guys, okay? You want to buy when everything's crashing, when it's in the reds and it's dipping, right? That's when, guys, you want to buy it, when it's at its bottom, right? When it's dipping pretty much. You don't want to buy when it's high. Okay, and I'm not gonna lie, I used to do this. I used to FOMO in a lot. Okay, for example, we know that altcoin Solana was absolutely pumping back in 2021. A lot of people were in fact talking about it, and I bought Solana when it was at like $140. You know what I mean? At the time when it was pumping like crazy. Okay, so I understand where people are coming from, but you just have to really learn your lesson here, guys. Right? You have to really learn your lesson, and I've learned my lesson, and I know when to buy and sell, pretty much, right? And it's really simple, okay? Like I just showed you guys, right? You want to buy low and sell high. It's really simple. Buy low, sell high, okay? So right now we're obviously in the buying area, and once it pumps, okay, that's pretty much if you want to take your profits, right? And if you have true diamond hands, then you can keep hodling and whatnot, right? And wait for the next cycle to happen. But guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. So we could actually see, Bitcoin potentially bounce back up. Okay, it could potentially have a pump up. Okay, or we could actually see Bitcoin break down below this support level and break back down. Okay, to maybe $20,000 right here, or maybe even lower than that, $18,000 and potentially $16,000 all the way back down here. Like I said many times, right? That is in fact a possibility. But if we see Bitcoin go back up to $24,000, and if it breaks this resistance line right here, okay, of $25,000, and if we see Bitcoin break this resistance line, we could potentially see Bitcoin, pump back up to $28,000 to even $30,000. And it's been quite some time, okay, since we've seen Bitcoin at 30K, right? It's been ever since last May to June, right? That was literally our last time seeing Bitcoin at $30,000. So if Bitcoin breaks this resistance line, which is $25,000, if it goes above 25K, then we could potentially see Bitcoin pump even more and continue this rally up, right? Potentially, but time will tell. So you guys let me know in the comments below. What are your personal thoughts? Do you guys think Bitcoin has the potential here to pump up, or is it going to completely dump, right? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know. But on that, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you guys have not already. Would appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys in my next video.